Are you considering a move to Montana? Many people are. Big sky country, wide open spaces, a slower pace of living, maybe a lower cost of living as well. Plus, shows like Yellowstone make Montana seem like a total dream. And I think it is. This is where I live, and this is where I love to sell real estate. But not all Montana towns are created equally. So what is the best area for you? Well, in today's video, I'm gonna break down the top 6 destinations that people move to. I'll go over the population, the cost of housing, the vibe of the local community, maybe helping you decide which part of Montana could be a good fit. So let's take a dive into the top places that people move to when they relocate to Montana. My name is Lindsay Iskierka with the Living in Kalispell real estate team. We get calls and texts and messages from people just like you every day, wondering what's life like in Montana? Should we relocate there? What are the pros and cons? Feel free to hit the like and subscribe button to get all the latest about what's going on in Flathead Valley, Montana, if you're considering relocating to the valley. Reach out if we can help you realize your Montana dream. Number 1 on our list is Bozeman, Montana. So Bozeman, Montana, home to Montana State University. So that provides great energy, education, research opportunities, even a bigger job market because of the location, the proximity to the university there. The vibe is very outdoorsy. Tech is booming in the area as well. And it is a college town. So you are going to find more of that vibrant young population that loves an outdoor lifestyle. It may not be as slow of a pace of living as you might imagine being in Montana. It is near Big Sky for skiing and hiking, so that's fantastic. There are great restaurants, breweries, cultural events. It's a very vibrant area to live in when you think about Montana. Some of the cons, though, is that it can be pretty expensive in terms of housing. So a median home price in Bozeman, Montana is about $750,000, and it definitely can go up from there. So if you're moving from a bigger city like LA or Seattle, it may be doable and seem more affordable. But for a lot of other people who are moving to Montana, it may be a little bit too pricey for them. High demand in housing means lower inventory. There's a lot of new construction still happening, but it may not be meeting with demand, and that is causing the housing prices to continue to go up. Because of the increased population and kind of the urban feel, it will be a little bit more congested. You might find some more traffic in the area, especially if you're closer to the university or downtown. And locals will feel like it's kind of losing the small town vibe and the small town feel. It's becoming a more big city. It's even gaining the term Bozeangeles. You didn't hear from me. I'm just repeating what I've heard, okay? Bozeangeles is kind of getting the nickname for Bozeman, Montana, mostly due to its increase in tech, right? So a lot of jobs are opening up in the area, and you can go outside of town and find the more slower pace, ruralness if you're looking for that. But if you're living in Bozeman, Montana, just know that you are gonna be by the university. It's a bit more pricey in terms of housing, could be a little bit more congested, but you do get the pros of being in Montana with the outdoor lifestyle, overall slower pace of living. And it's really an outdoor paradise out there. Number 2 on our list is Missoula, Montana. Missoula is home to the University of Montana, so that brings a strong culture of music and arts and all the vibrance that a college town brings. There's lots of local restaurants and breweries, just like Bozeman, but it is more affordable than Bozeman. The average home price in Missoula, Montana is about $550,000. So it is more affordable than a Bozeman, but it's also a vibrant college town with more opportunities for jobs, more diverse downtown area. And it's great for hiking, rafting, fishing right there in town. And so you still get the outdoor lifestyle. You're also close to Missoula Airport, so it's really convenient to travel. If you work remotely, you need to travel. So the cons in Missoula is that the job market is decent, but not booming. So you still may not get as many opportunities for jobs as you would in an area like Bozeman, Montana. You do also have higher property taxes in Missoula than other Montana towns. It has a more of an urban feel in Missoula, which isn't for everyone. Some people don't mind it. It could still seem like a slower pace of life if you're coming from a bigger city, but if you're used to a Montana lifestyle, a place like Missoula could still feel a little too congested, a little too crowded. Missoula itself is pretty built out, So not a lot of newer development happening within Missoula specifically. You will have to go outside of Missoula in order to get the additional developments and whatnot. Missoula's fun. It's a walkable town with a mix of mountain grit and college town charm. But if you need high-paying work or space to build, it might not be the easiest spot. Number 3 is Kalispell and Whitefish, Montana, or Flathead Valley, if you would. That's what we call it here. So downtown Kalispell, Whitefish Ski Resort, Flathead Lake, Glacier National Park, all right in your backyard when you think about Kalispell and Whitefish, Montana. There's a local airport nearby as well, so very convenient to get to and travel in and out of, which is a plus. Median home price in Kalispell is going to be about $525,000 to $800,000, give or take, depending upon what area that you're in and the neighborhoods that you're in. For Whitefish, Montana, it is a bit more pricey, being a ski town, and it's going to be about $750,000 or plus. Whitefish and Kalispell are just about 20 minutes apart from one another, really accessible through a main highway, which is Highway 93. And again, your backyard is Glacier National Park. Down south of us, just about 20 minutes, is Flathead Lake. So much hiking, more lakes and rivers, and really an outdoor paradise with Kalispell and Whitefish, Montana. So those are the pros. It is booming in tourism. Healthcare and remote work are job markets here that do very well. And there's a strong school system, infrastructure, and it is booming. So more and more big box retailers and businesses are moving to the Kalispell and the Whitefish area. Whitefish has luxury, walkable mountain town living. So if that is also your vibe and you want to feel like you're living in a Hallmark movie, Whitefish is definitely an area to consider. Some cons though, Whitefish, for example, has a 3% resort tax and high vacation home prices. So remember, Montana has 0 sales tax statewide, so no state sales tax. But if you live in an area like Whitefish, you are going to have a 3% resort tax. Kalispell is also growing very quickly, so there is more traffic and congestion, especially in the higher seasons, like summer, for example. Summer in the Flathead Valley is very busy. We get the Under the Big Sky Music Festival in mid-July, which you could think of as like a stagecoach type of event in Little Flathead Valley. So a lot of people come from all over the area, even from Idaho and Washington and Canada, all over different parts of Montana to come to Under the Big Sky Festival. Glacier National Park alone sees over 3 million visitors every year. So it can get pretty congested right in the heart of the town. Winters can also be a little long and intense if you're not used to a colder climate. We'll get snow starting from late November, but it'll really start sticking in December and January. And you can get snow all the way until March. And it's usually melted by April, but you can still get some sporadic snowfall all the way into the middle of spring. So winters can be pretty long. So if you don't have a winter hobby like skiing or snowshoeing, snowmobiling, things like that, the winter can feel a bit tedious. My advice is to find a hobby that you can do during the wintertime and just enjoy the ability to kind of hunker down, get cozy, enjoy the fireplace, and just watch the snowfall outside. It is pretty spectacular. Coming from California myself, moving to Montana, honestly, I don't think the winter is that bad, but it's something to be aware of if you're considering a move to Montana, especially Northwest Montana, where you do have the Rocky Mountains going through the area. So you are going to get that more mountainy type of weather. So as you can see, this is where I live and work, and I absolutely love it here. It's truly an outdoor enthusiast paradise. You get all 4 seasons, tons of access to a growing community. Everything you need is right here as well, but you don't get the high price tag of Bozeman, Montana. Number 4 on our list is Helena, Montana. So Helena is Montana's state capital, of course, and there's lots of access to trails and outdoor lifestyle. State government jobs are very common in Helena, since it is a state capital. That offers good job stability. That is unique, and you don't necessarily find in other places of Montana. There's a historic downtown, which is really popular to go visit. Charming buildings, you really feel the history in that area. It's less crowded and less touristy overall. So you're not gonna get the influx of tourists like you would say if you were visiting Glacier National Park or near Yellowstone National Park. You got miles of in-town mountain and biking trails as well. So you still have the outdoor space, the outdoor living, maybe just not necessarily access to national parks and as many lakes and things like that like you would otherwise. The population in Helena is about 34,000 people, and the median home price is about 450,000. So a bit more affordable, and it is more quiet. It's historic. It's the capital city, and it's still very quaint. Some of the cons of Helena, Montana, it could be a con for you if it's a slower pace of life, not a whole lot of nightlife or not a lot of dining options. If you like to go out to eat, this may not be your place to be. There's no major airport nearby either. So that's something to consider if you are working remotely or you plan to be traveling in and out of where you live. Job market outside of government jobs is pretty limited. So that's another thing to consider as well. Helena is ideal for people who want a quiet, stable place to live, access to the outdoors, but without all the hustle and the buzz and a lot of tourists coming to the area. Number 5 is Billings, Montana. So Billings, Montana, you got the downtown skyline, Yellowstone River, lots of medical facilities. That's what Billings is known for. It's about 120,000 people. So it is Montana's largest city in terms of population. Median home price in Billings, Montana ranges greatly, starting at $375,000 up to $450,000 and above. The vibe of Billings, Montana is big city by Montana standards, so take that for what you will. And it is a business hub, right? It's really the business area of Montana. Strong job markets in Billings include healthcare, energy, and trade. There are more urban conveniences and retail. So if you do need more shopping and dining options, Billings could be a good option for you. There is an international airport as well, so more direct flights, and probably one of the bigger airports that you're going to find across Montana. And it's more affordable to live in than Bozeman or Whitefish. Some of the cons of Billings is not quite as scenic as other Western, especially Montana towns. So you're going to have more plains, more flat land, and less of the mountains and the scenery that people come to love when they think about Montana. Air quality can also be an issue because it is more densely populated than the other areas of Montana. There's also higher crime rates in some areas of Billings. Just higher population equals higher crime rate. Billings is going to be a great option if you need a more stable job market, but it's not going to be necessarily the Montana ranch big sky dream if that is what you are aiming for. And 6 on our list is Great Falls, Montana. So Great Falls, Montana, you got Missouri River going through there. There's a downtown, there's an Air Force base in Great Falls as well. The population in Great Falls is 59,000. Median home price is about $325,000, so more affordable than the other cities that we've mentioned. The vibe is quiet, working class, military town. It's a good location between mountains and prairies. So Great Falls is not too far from areas like Glacier National Park or Big Sky. It's really, you do have to take a drive, but those areas are accessible. Slower growth in Great Falls as well, but that equals less competition for housing, right? It's not quite as in high demand in Great Falls, Montana. So it could seem like a little bit easier to jump into the housing market in an area like Great Falls. Some of the cons of Great Falls is that economic growth has been slower than some of the other towns. Not as many people moving in, not as many businesses starting, not as many big box retailers and corporations and companies moving into Great Falls. So economic growth has been slower than some other areas that I've mentioned on this list. There are fewer amenities around and older infrastructure as well. It can feel a little bit more run down perhaps than some of the newer developed areas like Kalispell, Whitefish, even parts of Bozeman and Missoula. The winters are cold and windy. So Great Falls, you are in between the mountains and the prairies, so you are going to get more of that constant wind. And that can be a downer for some people if they don't come from a climate like that. So that's something to consider as well. You won't get as much snow as you would get if you're closer to the mountains, but it is going to still be cold and it's still going to be windy in terms of the winters. And it's not a destination town. So you're not going to find a lot of tourism or a lot of things that draw people into the area in a place like Great Falls. But it's a stable, nice town to plant your roots, raise a family in, get into the housing market, and still be accessible to different parts of Montana, like Yellowstone, Glacier National Park, Flathead Lake, Big Sky Country, places like that. So Montana is a big, beautiful, diverse state. And many people dream of relocating to Montana. They maybe imagine, like I said, the big skies. They want their Montana ranch. They want places spread out and a quieter, slower pace of life. So whether you're drawn to a bustling ski town, a university city, or quiet living, there's really a place in Montana that could fit everyone's needs. So if you're thinking about making the move to Montana but aren't sure where to land, reach out to me. My team works across Flathead County, but we can also connect you with great real estate professionals in an area that you're considering. So reach out to us. We'd love to help you get connected and realize that Montana dream. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more Montana life, real talk about living in Montana, real estate tips and updates coming to Flathead County. And let me know in the comments what town you might be considering or what you're curious about, what you want more information on. And I'd love to share more in depth on a future video about any areas in particular that you're thinking about. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.